Welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review, part number, I believe this is, 41. Yep, 41. This one covering, for the new release dub episode, which came out just a few days ago. Yeah, it came out on Tuesday, surprisingly. I didn't know that these episodes came out because there was no article that announced the date of these particular episodes. Yeah, I'm not really sure what Funimation did that for. And then I asked, like, when is the next episode come out? And then someone pointed out though that they're released just. You mean the new ones released yesterday? I'm like, okay, I did not know anything about that. Yep. Now, last one went to 693. This one goes past 700. Yep, goes from 694 to 706. Yep. And this is only just the sixth set released. There's about 3 more left. And there's overall about, I think it's like 40 episodes overall left to go for this whole arc. Excuse me. Now, we do pay off one plot thread here. Yep. Now, one plot thread that's going on for a little while now is Law being handcuffs in these Seastone handcuffs. Yeah, that plot thread is finally resolved. 4 episodes into this batch of episodes. Yep. And we also see Rebecca, Bartholomew, and Robin when they ride the plateau. Now, Robin and Bartholomew basically don't make it to the Flower Garden, but Rebecca does, with Trafalgar Law's key. And the soldier arrives too. Now, Bartholomew comes with the interesting idea of using his barrier fruit power, to make, if somebody can barrier for himself, make a set of stairs. Awesome. Yep. And he says after using it, because that took up a lot of stamina for him. So, he's able to get rid of that. And then Rebecca hands off the key to Luffy, and then Luffy just unlocks the handcuffs, and, Law is back unlocked. And then before he goes in to deal with Doflamingo, he decides to use his Op fruit power to remove the bullets he got. Wow. It's like he was shot a while ago. I don't know, about 30 episodes ago, he was shot. He got 3 bullets in him, and then he used his power to simply remove them. And that's very useful, different power. He says, yeah, it's true, it's very useful, but he says, use up a lot of stamina. Yep. And, there's one other thing they do resolve here. This is going on since the end of the last part. The Cracker Soldiers. Yes, they finally get rid of these things. Yeah, they're not around for very long. They're around for a few episodes, and that's it. Where basically the way they got rid of it, because Violet finds out, Sugar's awake, so she must have created these things, despite the fact they popped a few episodes back. So it turned, and then of course Sugar, and then we have Conjo come with the interesting idea of creating this particular thing for Usopp, and then Usopp basically wraps like leaves, and then with the help of Viola, he's able to fire this thing off. And lucky enough, Sugar is right near where Luffy and Law is. And then, of course, she gets hit with the thing. Also, apparently, before this, because she was traumatized by Usopp, she apparently doesn't like, she's basically traumatized by seeing hot dogs or anybody with long noses. It does that. And then, of course, she sees, and then, of course, the wrap up thing is, it's Usopp's face with him doing that particular facial expression where he just got his eyes open, he wraps his tongue around, and that apparently spooks Sugar, so knocks her out again. And then the Cracker soldiers go back to being normal soldiers. And Gus is like, we were going to basically turn you back normal. And you think I don't know how it's possible because we forgot about them too. Probably though that we do start a couple of very interesting fights here. One is Psy versus Baby 5. It starts, but we don't get a resolve for it until like a little bit later. One of the more interesting ones, we see his grandfather take on Leo G. This is a pretty interesting battle. Who would have thought two old men basically be interesting to see fight on screen like this? We see King Elizabeth basically plowing his way to Doflamingo soldiers. Commodore Orbis does the same thing as well. Everybody gets a chance to get their licks in. Heck, we have the Giant, of course, still voiced by Chris Guerrero. Still don't know why Chris Guerrero took over from the previous voice actor. Yeah, a lot of time when they replace voice actors is usually because they die or they're just basically too sick, or in the case of Vic Mignola or one other guy, where they got fired due to allegations against them. This guy, don't know why. As far as I can tell, the guy's still very much active. Yeah, I don't hear anything. I was surprised to hear Chris Guerrero's voice come out of the guy's mouth because, I mean, this is probably by far his third character he's voiced in the series. I mean, it's not like, if you want to think of who has the most my character's voice in the series, it's Jamie Marcheri, where she's voiced like 5 or 6 characters over the course of this entire series. Yep. So, yeah, then we see, like, we get a little bit of backstory into Doflamingo and Law in this one, which I thought that was interesting. 2 characters get their backstories explored here. Law is, from what I can tell, mostly by the end of this, his backstory is still explored. Mostly, anyways, by the end of this. Doflamingo, I think there's still a little bit left for him, but mostly they explore him. His thing is that, oh yeah, his father gave up being a celestial dragon because he wanted to live as a human. And the thing is, celestial dragons didn't like that very much, so they basically accused him of being a traitor. So he just lives on his own. And when he mentioned his name, apparently that's a no-no. You should not mention who the heck you are. Though at least they just refer to him as Saint. He refers to him as Don Quixote, or at least whatever his name is. And apparently that brought people up, so he gets out of his mansion he was in. And of course, Doflamingo doesn't like this at all. He prefers his old lifestyle of the Celestial Dragon. His father didn't like it very much, but he loved it, apparently. Like, we have slaves for this. And it's later shown what happened to us. Now, his mother later died due to disease. But as for the father, oh boy, like, it was like not long after escaping from those mob who tried to kill them while hanging them and having him and his brother being blindfolded. Also, arrows fired at them as well. So he decided, because he got in hand from his father, he decided to shoot him. Yep, he shot him. Right in the head. Right from his own brother. Razanate. Which you actually get a chance to hear his voice actor. It's Ray Chase, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I recognized him right away due to the fact this is the same guy who voiced Bruno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden and Wind. Yep, same guy. And, well, I gotta say, Funimation made a great choice. I was surprised to hear him because the stuff I've heard him in, usually it's been like Viz Media stuff, like it's been JoJo and yeah, because this is what the guy has been in. He's been in 7 Days Since. He voiced Hauser. He was in like three out of the 5 seasons for JoJo. He was in Battle Tenacity, Star Crusaders, and Golden Wind. He was also in One Punch Man. He's the voice of Pew Pew Prisoner, Dr. Genius. Let's see. He was in Dragon Ball Super. He's basically he does the Bing Zoom dub for Toonami Asia. He does the voice of Tien Shinhan. Let's see. He does Iwambi from Baruto, which I haven't heard this voice, but he does voice Iwambi in the dub. I think Iwambi is one of the other characters. I remember who this one is. Let's see, Iwambi. I think he's the. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's the guy who's the wannabe. Yeah, he's the one who's kind of like this generation version of Naruto in some way. Yeah, he voices him in the English dub. He also is in ReZero, so this guy gets around. So not only Viz Media, Crunchyroll, even Funimation. Yeah, in ReZero, he's the voice of Roswell Mathers. Yep, yes he is. He voiced Aaron Kruger from Attack on Titan, who is the guy who was named after, who Aaron takes the name from. Of course, Bruno Bacciari from Judgment Golden Wind. He also voices one of the demons from Demon Slayer. Yes, he's voiced new, so I don't know. I have like some other guy gets around a lot. Well, he's Jujutsu Kaisen, which I still haven't watched the series yet, surprisingly. And he was also in the recent Voltron Legend Defender series that aired a few years ago. Interesting series. Actually, no, I haven't watched this one yet. But that was something else. But yeah, he also voiced Jason Blood in the Justice League Dark movie. Yes, Justice League Dark, that excellent movie that came off years ago. That I did a live action review, a live show review with my friends Tibia and Edgar. Yeah, he's the voice of Etrigan. Yep, he's also the voice of David Shield from My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. And, well, yep. So, the guy is one fantastic voice actor. He's the voice of Curzon. Well, Resnati, he's the second Curzon, because the first one was Virgo, which they had the actor reprise his role for these set episodes. As far as I can tell, this is the only set he's in. Because I don't remember him being in the rest of the arc, so there's that. So, Law's thing is that, well, his father was a doctor, just like a Law is currently. He's studying books, and then, of course, they mentioned with the whole thing. They explain Law's backstory via conversation in this flashback. It's a flashback within a flashback, where basically various members of the Don Quixote family are explaining to Baby 5 about Law's tragic backstory, and the fact he's got the white disease. Now, what is this thing? It's exposure to white lead. It's a very, very dangerous material that was made to weapons, jewelry, like, the country made boatloads of money. And apparently, get this, instead of allowing, people get treatment for this stuff, yeah, they decided to quarantine people instead of basically treating them. Also, people didn't like this very much, so they just attack people. Like, and I guess they go to a country like, oh, let's just massacre the whole freaking country instead of helping them. Yeah, it's also mentioned the world government doesn't give a damn about this. They were just slip under the rug. Just they wanted that money. Money. Yeah, that's what they want. Their money. Yeah. So eventually it's shown that his parents, later killed by government soldiers, the orphanage, the church school he was going to, all the kids were killed, along with the sister who was running the place, who look very similar to Scarlet, who appears in this series. And I think it's the same voice actress who voices her, which that's interesting. Yeah. So, his sister basically got infected by this, and apparently it's implied she got killed in this fire that basically killed everyone in the hospital who dared to be exposed to this virus. Yeah. And the way that people react to this thing, you probably like, when you watch this, like, really? Is this like how people react in real life? No, not really. The reaction is complete ridiculous. I mean, it's not like airborne, this particular thing. It's not spread by touch. It's people who are exposed to this thing by touching the material, not by one person touching another person. That's not how this thing is spread. So, yeah. So, then, of course, well, we have him where he tries to join the Don Quixote family. And Corazon keeps shoving out a window frequently for this. We see this flashback, Senior Pink. We see in flashback, like, wait, why is he wearing a suit and he's slim and he is not doing the baby stuff? Well, that's not explored till later why he wears baby stuff. Because it seems as like a lot of the really big characters get a lot of their stuff explored. Most of them do, except for, well, there's a lot who don't, like Baby 5 and Buffalo. Yeah, their backstories are never explored in this thing. Nope. I mean, it's something, though, that Senior Pink, that he gets his backstory explored, which I love his backstory. Like, it's so tragic, the fact that his wife, which we'll explain later on, his wife thought he was a banker based on what he's dressed. She had no idea that her that the man she loved and the father of her child was a pirate. She had no idea. And she says she hates pirates. Oh yeah, and get this, her name was Russian. Seriously, that is the woman's name. Russian. And loved like woman in the anime. And then eventually, apparently, the baby died at some point. They don't really thoroughly explain what the heck happened to it. Though this is explored later on via a conversation that Singer Pink has with Frankie, which they do continue their fight here. And of course, the girls all fawn over both of them. It's very brief. And if you want to think of one character that's been in these 10 episodes, it's Zoro. Yeah, he's apparently still fighting Pika off screen. He doesn't really appear in this episode at all. These episodes, which I thought that was kind of weird. We usually like on the map per se. Do we see him find Pika? No, not really. We see Kinemon and Kanjuro. We see them have with King Riku and Tank, trying to fend off against the citizens of the Dressrosa Kingdom. And we also see pirates who want to take the bounty. And of course, King Riku decides to help the citizen instead of basically turning against them because they try to attack him. So he pretty much decides to fight the pirates. Oh yeah, and it's ordered by one of the admirals. Don't worry about the pirate. Just worry about basically protecting the citizens. Like anyone's out of control, just tie them up, and that's it. Because that plot thread's still going on, and then we do start one big plot thread here. First, it looks like that Diamante starts his fight with Rebecca, but it gets interrupted by Kairos, who begins his big, long fight with him. Yeah, but let's get wrapped up here. Don't worry. That I don't think it wraps up. Let me take a quick look here at the episode heroes. No, I think this fight lasts for a pretty good period of time. I could probably say next set basically could wrap up this particular plot thread. Yeah, as for Sugar being knocked out, yeah, she's done for this arc. As far as I can tell, I don't think she does really anything else after she gets knocked out. No, not really. Oh yeah, and also, Dillinger fights the arm cannon. Yeah, still fights him. Surprisingly, the guy who's part of the Long Leg tribe, he does not appear here near those. You don't see everybody part of the Gladiator, just a handful of them per se. Robin gets into fighting too. She has done something she hasn't done since Fishman Island. Does her giant feet trick where she stomps on the soldier. She hasn't done that since Fishman Island, which I thought was so great to see that again. Even as I have watched episode 4, so I'm basically used to it. Yep. And one fight that has started here is Luffy versus Doflamingo 1-on-1. Where it looks like fighting a clone, like also starts this fight with Bellamy. And he does a little switcheroo with Law does a little switcheroo thing where he swaps Luffy with he swaps himself with Doflamingo, and then Luffy does a hockey punch and punches Doflamingo right in the frickin' belly. Like, wow. And of course creates a string clone. Which, here's something I thought was quite strange about this. I'm not sure if this is basically changed from the manga, because it's been a little while since this arc, but I could have sworn though the string clone looked a little bit more cleaner than it did the last time up here. This time looked like the string clone looks like a hologram. Yeah. Though Luffy's fighting a possessed Bellamy, that continues for a little while, but doesn't last very long. Luffy versus Doflamingo, that lasts for pretty much most of the rest of this arc, per se. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah, and by the way, like, Usopp, of course, after taking up Sugar, he doesn't really do anything the rest of the whole arc. You're probably thinking, really? Usopp does nothing? Yeah, seriously, he does nothing. You see him physically appear. He doesn't really affect the arc, per se. He's effectively done. Yeah, there's nothing really else for him to do. I mean, he just took out Sugar, and that's simply it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. And, well, in the case of Law, like, after Corazon basically finds out that his full name is Trafalgar D. Water D. Law, he basically overhears this during Law's conversation with Baby 5 and Buffalo. He kidnaps him and does his little devil fruit power. He never knew he had devil fruit power, and the fact he didn't know he could freaking talk. Because everyone thinks he's a mute. That he basically cannot speak due to being traumatized when he was younger. Yeah, it turns out it was a big fat lie. And it's also shown here that Corazon is in fact a Marine. He's not in uniform per se, but he works for Sengoku. Yes, as in the former Fleet Admiral who was seen back, who was basically, he was the Fleet Admiral back in the Marineford arc and him eating crackers. Oh yeah, we do see this thing where he wears like a Hawaiian shirt underneath his uniform. He's one of two admirals I can think of who does it. The other, of course, is the current guy, Akanu. Yeah, both of them do the same thing with both our Hawaiian shirts under the uniform, which I thought that was quite interesting. Though one thing that's not explained is how the heck did his hair go white in the course of 2 years, even though when he's last seen his hair is black? I don't know. It's kind of weird. He gets contacted by Corazon a couple times over the course of this particular set of episodes. First, I take a little break for about 6 months. Yep. And of course, Corazon goes all over the place trying to find a cure for get Law treated. No one wants to treat him. So they think, okay, why not just go get the Op fruit? Yep, something was basically. So we see how Law gets a damn thing. And what the Op fruit looks like. It's shaped of a heart. Because it's used for, well, healing people. Okay. So Corazon finds out where it is, beats up the pirates, steals it, being very clumsy. He does eventually give it to Law, sort of like force feeds the damn thing. Yeah, force feeds him the thing, and he gets his power. Though in the case of his white stuff, his white disease is covered like most of his face. Oh yeah, and that's taken care of mostly probably later on when he gets cured. And then at the end of this, like, because apparently Doflamingo finds out his brother is a traitor. Oh yeah, and I also see Virgo in the flashback where he gets transferred to G5, thus setting up something that will happen in Punk Hazard. That's mostly the reason for that. Oh yeah, he also started this thing here where apparently we meet Law for the first time, and because apparently he's older, now I should point out though in the sub he demanded that Law call him Virgo's son. In the dub, similar thing, except that he refers like not Virgo, Mr. Virgo, because he has seniority over him because he's older. Yeah, which he demanded even when he was older, still call him that. Yep. Also, in case you're curious though, like, does Virgo still have food in his face in the flashback? Oh yes, the first time is that he has egg in his face. The second time he has a piece of like octopus. Yes, because Virgo is a messy eater. Only like 1 or 2 times he's seen without food on his face. Heck, it's even pointed out to him, hey, you have a piece of egg on your cheek. And he does nothing about it. Not at all. Oh yeah, he's beat the crap out of Corazon. Yeah, and apparently while he's doing, he's apparently decided to take his shirt off, even though it's snowing, when it's freezing cold. Oh yeah, apparently to keep him warm, he basically puts his hockey mode on. And, well, then he proceeds to beat the living crap out of Corazon. Because just by sheer coincidence, Law just happened to come across him, and he finds out about the fact he's a traitor. Eventually, they go back to the place, and of course, we see the bird cage the first time. Yes, which, in the case from Law's perspective, was the first time he's seen it. And in the case of Corazon, he says he's never seen it before, but he's heard about it. So at least he knows about it, but he's never seen it personally. Yeah, the bird cage is what you see in present day. So you get a lot of setup basically with some stuff that happens like very recently. Also, apparently in flashback, Doflamingo actually wore a full suit in flashback. Why he switched from the full suit to the attire he wears currently, don't know. But the coat remains the same. Yeah, he still wears the pink coat like he does. Like, yeah, he wears pink coat both in flashback and in present day. Why the heck he dresses that way for? No idea. Also, his brother dresses the same way too, except he's got a black coat, not a pink coat. Also, he actually bothers to put his arms in the sleeves, while in the case of his brother, he doesn't. Yep. Oh yeah, and then of course he says all things. He admits that he does love Law, and of course he apologizes for what he did. And then basically Doflamingo shoots him, and he dies right there. And that's the last you see of Corazon. Of course, yeah, he dies in flashback, and of course also Toru is here in a flashback. She looked like she hasn't changed very much in like 13 years. So then eventually, of course, they get away. Gotta think this one boy was basically they think was Law, but really isn't. Anybody can see it, that's not Law. I don't remember who this is, this particular person. Like you see this kid with this scar on his chin. I don't remember if this guy is an admiral, and I don't really remember. I had to look up later. Yeah. But these overall are great set episodes, and I can't wait for the next one, whenever they do come out. Yeah. So, next batch basically be 707 to 719. Yep. So yeah, like I said, now aside from Law with the him in handcuffs that get wrapped up, aside from that, is there any plot that gets wrapped up here? Well, they explain what Corazon is. Okay, they pay off that particular thing. All right. Aside from that, there's like no other plot for it. It seems like this one has like a lot of setup, like a lot of starts for a lot of different plot threads that'll continue over the course of the next few batches. Yep. But nothing is really that, like, you have one plot thread concluded. Unlike last time it was like two or three. This one is just one, which I thought was kind of weird, but that's the way how this arc works. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular view, and it's probably gonna be a video state. But tomorrow, oh boy, I have exactly 4 anime coming tomorrow: Eden Zero, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and Boruto. Yep, and then that'll be it. All right. And in case you're curious, though, when is the next other anime aside from that one going to come up? Well, after those 5, next one's going to come into Wednesday, which will be 7 Deadly Sins. Thursday will be, of course, still, as for right now, Shaman King and How Not the Seven, of course, How Not the Seven Demon Lord. I believe that'll be the Pendulum episode of the season, that one. And then Friday is nothing, but Saturday, of course, we return to Case Closed. Yep. See you in the video. Bye.